Hi warriors, it's Hannah here and welcome back to another video. As the title implies, today I'm going to be eating junk food, comfort food, food that during the time of my eating disorder would have freaked me the hell out, or foods that are currently your fear foods. I started off asking all of you guys what I should have in this day, and then added on some foods that I thought needed to make the cut. Of course, everyone's going to have different fears, different challenges, different foods they find comfort in, but these are mine. I know, for example, during my eating disorder, I wasn't necessarily afraid of ice cream, but I was definitely terrified of avocados, bananas, or mushrooms. However, ice cream did come up a lot, so I will be having some of that later as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. It's a bit of entertainment, it's a bit of a shout out for you to join me and to challenge your fears, and a bit of a reminder that you can eat all of these foods. You can become comfortable with them again. And there's a life after the eating disorder. Enjoy this video. Let's do it. I'm working from home today, so getting up at a fairly similar time means I've got loads of time in the morning and I used it wisely. Full English breakfast was one of these things that used to be a real comfort food for me as a child. However, during my eating disorder, it became an absolute nightmare. I was terrified of it, and for me it was also a matter of I could only have bread or I could only have the full English without the bread, and not both together. So this morning, I'm having both. And I'm having white bread, supermarket bread, because why not? During my recovery, my dad would often make me banana milkshakes. This terrified the crap out of me. So today, for good old time's sake, I'm having the same milkshake. Rather than using your standard vanilla ice cream, I use peanut butter ice cream. And had it with my breakfast. That was yum. I put the milkshake in the fridge for a sec. I haven't quite finished that yet. I'll probably finish it throughout the morning. I really need to get going with work. So, see you when I next consume something. I've just come off another call, so I've got about 20 minutes to have my lunch. So I'm just going to have some leftover tuna pasta and shove that in my face and then get back to work. I'm gonna have it with this avocado. Tuna pasta isn't necessarily a junk food, and especially the vegan variety, because it's got like carrots and chickpeas and mayonnaise to replace the regular tuna concoction, but it's pasta, it's leftovers. I'm gonna roll with it because I've only got 15-20 minutes to eat. So this will be it. It will be absolutely delicious though, and if you haven't tried it, it's really good, so I definitely recommend it. That honestly shouted comfort food for me. Anyway, I'm still a bit hungry, so that means more food. I'm getting back to work. I'm just working away and I was just thinking, what would be a real vegan, interesting kind of snack to share with you? So I thought I'd try them. But yeah, let's give it a taste test. Oh, look at that. That's really odd. It's really chewy. I don't know. It looks weird, but I think if you don't look at what it looks like, it tastes pretty good. I'll make up my mind. whilst these muffins were homemade and definitely not like the worst of the worst in terms of junk food, comfort food, well, they're definitely comfort food, and also they are quite calorie dense, which is something I'm really trying to focus on at the moment as I'm trying to put on some weight. It's got loads of dates in, a lot of peanut butter, and just lots of good stuff for the weight gain journey. Another snack that I really appreciate at the moment for the same reason is this. Dates, a little nut inside, dipped in nut butter. If you haven't tried it yet, give it a go. It's really easy to have quite a few of them, and yeah, for me, stuff like this, little bites here and there that don't feel like they're necessarily adding a lot of volume, that's the trick to my success. Well, hopefully my success. I haven't actually weighed myself in a very long time, but I'm manifesting my future self. So let's leave it at my success.
One eternity later.
I just finished work and I'm exhausted. I've had so many calls today. I'm just gonna have a little lie down on the sofa. 5 minutes of nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then I've got a few other projects that I'm working on, but yeah, I'll approach them at my own pace. I've made up my mind. I'm too tired to cook the mac and cheese that I wanted to make. It's almost 7 o'clock now and I've been cleaning and tidying and hoovering and mopping for almost 3 hours. I didn't find any pizzas in the freezer, which is quite surprising. So I'm just gonna have some croissants. I popped a few in the oven, some chocolate ones, some cheesy ones, and I've also just got some plain butter croissants because they're the best, in my opinion. I've got a bit of those baked beans left over and Thomas at home. I think I'm gonna call that a meal. And I'm gonna drink some kombucha with that. The beans I'll be having straight from the tin. The kombucha I'll be having straight from the jar because less dishes. Oh, and yeah, I did use taco mix beans rather than baked beans because they're fairly similar, but these are superior. Also, I couldn't seem to find the baked beans in my cupboard, so I went with these. One of these croissants has cheese in, another one has chocolate, the other two are just butter croissants, and then I've got my beans. Croissants are like fairly small, so there's loads more. I'll probably be going for seconds. Cheers. By the way, these aren't homemade. I definitely want to try to make some croissants at some point, but I was going for convenience, so I literally just popped them in the oven. Yesterday, Tom and I were watching TV and somehow we devoured an entire chocolate bar. And it's quite unlike us, but it happened, and no, it wasn't a binge. It wasn't anything to feel guilty about. It wasn't finally caving to cravings. It was just that we fancied some chocolate and we ate some chocolate. And it made me think. It made me want to do this video today to show that in spite of what I ate yesterday, I can still do these challenges today. It's okay to eat comfort food. It's okay to eat comfort food literally as much as you crave it. And you won't suddenly gain lots and lots of weight. You won't suddenly be really unhealthy. You won't suddenly struggle with all of these other things that you might fear you will struggle with. So, challenge yourself. Join me today. Join me in eating all these foods that used to be off limits to me and now simply aren't. Thank you for joining me for another day in the life. It's been delightful. I feel like I've eaten quite a lot, and I just want to put a little disclaimer. It's that time of the month where I'm just hungry. I eat a lot. I listen to those cravings. I don't necessarily eat like this all the time. I might eat less. I might eat more on some days. This is just one day. Also, this ice cream is £1 in Aldi. Go get it.
My phone lights up, but it's never you. I can't help but feel so lonely, and all these things that I can't undo.
That was it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to join me, become part of the Patreon family, support me in whichever way works for you. And don't forget, Challenge your eating disorder this week. Do it. I promise. It's worth it.